Hi, hope you're having an amazing day. As you saw from the title of this video, we're playing with a lot of new LA Colors makeup. Most of this makeup I actually mentioned in my Massive Drugstore haul. If you didn't watch that, that's going to be down below. And it's also in a playlist, which is labeled Massive Drugstore haul playlist number 5. I also ended up throwing in a bunch of other LA Colors products that I already own or that were scattered into other videos. So it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of Dollar Tree makeup that I mentioned in my last video is going to be in this video, but also some items that I haven't used in a while. Basically, the star of the show is going to be their new palettes, and these were all from their Color Vibe collection. And you get the Sunset palette, which is the one we used on the eyes today. We have their Nude palette, their Rose palette, their Bright palette. Basically, I picked up all of them. There's 5, and Cool. I also went ahead and threw in a couple of my older palettes just so we could compare color stories and see, do you guys really need this new collection of LA Colors palettes, or do you already have them in your collection? And also these palettes here, we're going to be comparing and seeing if there's similarities, if there's differences with any of these palettes. And also I did want to mention that these palettes here I actually swatched on my Instagram. So if you want to see that, that's over there. I'm not swatching them today because I already swatched them on my Instagram, and I also did it in natural lighting as well as with flash. So if you are intrigued in how they swatched and how they looked, how pigmented they are, you can head over there to my Instagram. I always have a link down below. If you want to see how I got this look, the items that I use, and my thoughts on them, just keep on watching. But before that, don't forget, if you like drugstore makeup, go ahead and stick around, subscribe, maybe hit the bell so you're notified whenever I upload. And if you could like the video if you like it, and the video is going to start right now. Right, as you can see, brows are filled. So as you guys know, I purchased all of the LA Colors little palettes that are new, and the one that we're going to be using today is Sunshine, and we are going to be discussing all of the other LA Colors palettes later on in the video. These are these shades that we're going to be playing with today. A lot of sunsetty, orangey, browny kind of tones. It's a really nice palette. We might also even throw in this liquid shadow in the shade Cheers that we used in my Dollar Tree video, which was actually uploaded last. So if you want to watch that, that's going to be in the playlist. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm thinking I'm just going to start adding like some browns just to kind of start a transition shade. So I'm just going to take like the 2 light browns on the front. Alright, so that shade went on rather nicely. I'm going to go ahead and go into that matte orange shade, and I'm just going to start building that up on the outer part of the eye. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of that deep brown shade, and I'm going to throw it out in the outer corner. I'm taking one of the shimmers, I'm just going to throw it on the eye. I think we are going to take just a little bit of this and throw it over top that shimmer. As you can see, liner and lashes are on. I just went ahead and used a LA Colors product, and this is the eye marker in brown. And I also throw on just a little bit of primer with my Shop My Stash item, which is the Black Radiance True Complexion Primer. So we do have one new item for primer, and this is the LA Colors Skin Perfecting Primer. And it's supposed to prep the skin and fill in pores, which is what I'm going to check for right now. And it's a really cute kind of compact item. It feels very balmy, almost like the e.l.f. Poreless Primer. Like when you touch it, it just feels very like slippery and stuff. And it just feels exactly like that. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some on. It feels rather slippery on the skin, which actually feels really nice, and it doesn't have any type of smell or anything. It does come with a little sponge underneath. I just want to see how this works. And it also comes with a mirror, which is extremely convenient. It picks them up on this sponge. Alright, so that's it on the skin. There is no primer here and primer here. Honestly, I can see that it kind of blurred my skin, almost like a silicone type of primer. It looks nice on the skin. You can't really feel it on there. It feels pretty normal. I don't feel hydrated or anything. Honestly, I don't know how I'm feeling about it. It just feels like you know, nothing extraordinary. I think it's okay, but we're gonna see how the foundation goes over top. I'm honestly thinking just priming this one side here with this primer and then throwing on foundation and seeing if there's a difference. So we'll see how that looks with foundation over top. I really liked this. I really like the method of just throwing this in. I mean, I don't know how hygienic that's gonna be after a couple uses, but just for the first couple uses, it was really easy just to throw on. It really applied it really nicely. So I'm gonna keep using that, honestly. Surprisingly, I thought I was gonna throw it away, but it's actually really useful. So we do have an LA Colors foundation for today, and this is LA Colors Truly Matte Foundation. I haven't used this in such a long time. This one is in Warm Honey. It's a very nice foundation, very full coverage. Alright, so the foundation is now blended in. I honestly can tell a difference. I just looked at my face up close, and this is a foundation that's really nice. Very full coverage, really matte. If you have oily skin, you should definitely check it out. They have a really decent shade range, I'd say. You can find those at Family Dollar and online. Really nice, and even like Walmart sells them, I believe. So right now when I looked at my skin, I noticed that this side with the primer does look way more smooth in this area here, whereas this one just kind of looks like it's there. It's kind of sitting on top of my skin, and you can kind of see my pores a little more prominently on this side. So I'd say that primer really did do something, because this side does look a way more smooth, a little more flawless than this side without the primer. So okay, it actually did something. It looks nice. We have a couple of cream products from LA Colors. The first one is their contour stick. You guys know I've been keeping this in for my shop, my stash. I'm just trying to use it up, and it's actually really nice. This is actually my only contour stick. I want to buy more. I don't know if I'm gonna purchase the same one. I mean, this is really convenient. I also have like a contour palette, but you know, contour stick is just a little easier. I feel like once it's on, you can definitely tell when the powders and everything is on that I cream contoured. I'm gonna do this. I never do this, but let's see how that looks. Next, I'm gonna take some of my LA Colors blush stick, and these are also products that I use in my Dollar Tree video. That's actually where I found these. I'm just gonna take some on my brush. I found that this product does look extremely pigmented, but it takes a while to build up, which I really enjoy. The shade itself is really nice as well. It's extremely vibrant and it blends in so nicely on the skin. Alright, so that is the shade Glowing. I did go over it with my sponge, and it just blends in nicely, tones it down a bit, and I think this is such a great product, and the formula is really nice as well. And also the highlight stick is really nice. I just take some on my sponge and I start patting it in. It's such a nice product. It's very much like a glow from within product, which is what I mentioned in my last video. It's not glittery or anything. It's not too shimmery on the skin, but it looks so nice. It almost makes it easy for those people who are scared of cream products. I think these are gonna be great for you. Great for like beginner types of people who want to get into stick products and stuff like that, but they're scared that they're too pigmented, that they're gonna go everywhere. I'd say these two are more user friendly. Like this one, it's definitely something you have to build up, and like I said, it's not shimmery or anything. You're not gonna see a streak of highlight on your skin, but it almost looks just like a glow from within look. Very natural, and I think a lot of people are gonna gravitate towards this product and they're gonna enjoy it because it's so nice. So I definitely suggest you guys check these out if you're into that more natural look. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy these. I have two LA Colors concealers. The first one is from the Dollar Tree, and this one I believe is in the shade Natural. And then we have our new concealer, which is the Ultimate Cover Concealer, and this one's in the shade Natural. So I'm gonna take the Dollar Tree one and I'm just gonna throw some on. This is actually a product that I'm trying to use up. It's not my most favorite concealer in the world, so I am over applying it. And taking our new concealer, just throwing that over top. This is a way lighter shade that I go for. Concealer actually blended out rather nicely. Even though it's really light for my under eyes, I think it looks stunning. Looks really nice on the under eyes. Honestly, I'm really enjoying this product so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my LA Colors contour palette from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna set my under eyes using that light shade. Taking some of my powder from LA Colors. This is a pressed powder in the shade Nude. This is actually one that I picked up from Shamus A, as I mentioned in my Dollar Tree video, but you can also find this at the Dollar Tree. I've actually seen them there, and this shade is actually really nice. I really like this powder. It's really fine, and even though it's like a lighter shade than I'm supposed to be, it goes on really nicely on the skin. So this is something that I really have been enjoying, especially going in with a more fluffy brush like so. I think it just throws it on nicely and quickly. Now that we powdered, I'm gonna go ahead and take my LA Colors bronzer, and this is a shimmer bronzer in the shade Sun Goddess. I actually did enjoy this in my last video, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this again. This is a really beautiful product. It's stunning. I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards this product during the summer because it's such a shimmery type of bronzer, but it looks so nice on the skin. I'm actually surprised that I like this product, but I just decided not to take this on my forehead any longer because it just looks a little weird. And also I tend to go a little heavy on my forehead and then it looks off throughout the whole video. So I just decided to throw it on my cheekbones and also just a little bit here, and it honestly looks nice. I'm going to tone it down just a little bit, but if you do have texture in those areas here, like here or here, this is sort of like a highlight. So if you're throwing this on over texture, it's definitely going to highlight that texture. So I wouldn't recommend this for you if that's the case, but you know, if you're okay with your skin, you don't really care how it looks on your texture, whatever, I think this is a really nice product, especially during the summer. I think it's going to look stunning once everything hopefully is back to normal, the sun is out and shining, and then it's gonna look stunning on the skin. So this is something that I've really been enjoying, also from the Dollar Tree. I'm taking one of my LA Colors Beauty in Bloom tins. This is the shade Rose Flush, and I'm just gonna throw some on the cheeks. This is so nice and so pigmented. I love it. I love applying blush with this specific brush because it's so fluffy that it's like you can't really mess up your blush because it's like you pack it on slowly and it just does such a great job. This is actually a Moda brush. I'm not sure what the name is. I'll have it down below if I can find it. It's so nice. Going on to highlight, I'm going to take my LA Colors highlight in the shade Glow Time. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and take my LA Colors Velvet Plush Liquid Lipstick in the shade Teddy. If you like the NYX Soft Creams, I believe they're called, they smell really nice and they smell exactly like this product, and they also feel like that product on the lips. Really velvet and smooth. It just glides on and it feels really comfortable on the lips. So definitely recommend, if you like that formula, definitely check these out. They come in various shades and they're nice. And this shade specifically, I'm so glad I picked up. Such a beautiful shade. I do have two more LA Colors products. Before we go in with the gloss, I kind of want to throw on a stamp like we did in my other video, which is the LA Colors Tattoo Stamp Pen, and this is the one with the little flower on it. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Why not? Something fun. Well, last time I threw it here. I'm gonna throw it over here now. Or is it the opposite? Did I do this last time? Oh well. That's how that looks. These are really fun and just to add a little something extra to your look. So cute. Only $1, and these are available at the Dollar Tree too. So cute, and I'm really liking these. Maybe I'll just do both. Yeah, that's so nice. I'm so happy with this product. I've really been enjoying it. And lastly, we're gonna go ahead and take the LA Colors lip gloss, and this is the one in Happiness, also from the Dollar Tree. You can find a lot of LA Colors at the Dollar Tree. This one smells so good. It smells like smoothie. God, so nice. All right guys, so this is the final look. Let me know down below what was your favorite product from today's video, or if you own any of these products, let me know down below in the comments. Real quick, let's just talk about a couple of the LA Colors items that I threw in that were new. First, starting off with the primer, the LA Colors Skin Perfecting Primer. This is really nice actually. I think I'm gonna keep using it, keep testing it out. These videos have been more of a first impressions types of basis, so of course I'm gonna touch bases with you guys in future videos and talk about how these products perform throughout the day. I'm gonna keep this on the side and we're gonna keep using this, and then I'll discuss this with you guys in future videos. But so far so good. This is looking really nice. Now again, that is the side with the primer and without the primer. So let me know if you guys see a difference. I honestly feel like this side is more smooth looking than this side. This side just feels like I don't have any primer on, and this side definitely did blur this area. So I'm really liking it so far. Definitely recommend if you've been looking for a pore filling primer. I think this works really nicely. And then the concealer, I'm honestly surprised because you guys know I mentioned that this shade is so light on my under eyes that I didn't know how it would look or how it would blend in, but I'm honestly really enjoying this. It's set down so nicely and I think my under eyes look nice. Now I'll see when I'm editing, but here looking at the viewfinder, I think it looks pretty nice, and it's definitely something I'm gonna reach for often. So I'm really excited about this. Both purchases were honestly really nice. All right, before we get into the new palettes, let's talk about some old ones. So let's revisit some old LA Colors palettes. So the first style of palettes that they had come out with were these, and I actually have a whole video swatching these against each other and showing you guys the differences, the similarities and stuff. and that video is going to be down below if you want to watch, because we're not going to swatch anything today, honestly, because I've already swatched them. And also the new palettes that they just came out with, I swatched on my Instagram. I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning or not. Hopefully I remember to mention it in the intro, but I did swatch them on natural lighting as well as with flash on my Instagram. So if you want to see that, that's over there. But the first palette we have here is the Classy palette. I'm just going to show them rapidly because I've spoken about these before. They're a really nice formula and they're just nice. Definitely one of my favorites. This is the Sassy palette. They usually come out with these palettes in threes, and this one contains more pinky tones and purples. And lastly, from this first set, this is the Flashy palette. This one comes with some smoky tones. So these palettes here I did purchase at Big Lots, but you can also find these at the Dollar Tree. The set that I just showed you guys, that was actually the second set. They had come out with a first set of palettes, which is also available at the Dollar Tree. They still have them from time to time, but those palettes, I just, you know, they're pretty old, so I kind of got rid of some. But these, the ones that I just showed you guys, are nice. But also these here, these are actually the ones that I found at Big Lots, but also I've seen them at the Dollar Tree as well. They always interchange. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. And this one here is so nice. This is the one in Stunning. So this is a kind of revamped version of the last one that I showed you guys, with those more everyday tones. Definitely gives me vibes of the palette that we used on the eyes today. It has a lot of oranges and browns, and it's really, really stunning. So if you see this, this is definitely a dupe for that palette that we used on the eyes today. Then we have the more pinky one, which is the Stylish palette. This one's not really at the top of my list. This one is kind of broken somehow. It has just a little bit of pinks, but mostly those everyday kind of tones. Also, that one has a lot of shimmers in it. And lastly, we have the Stellar palette, which is a more greeny, bluey kind of palette, and this one also contains a lot of shimmers. This one's stunning. All right, going on to the other palettes that I have from LA Colors. When I was looking at my collection, I completely forgot I owned these palettes here. And the first one that I have here is the Nude palette, and this palette I actually used in one of my new Get Ready With Me videos a couple months ago. If you want to watch that, that's going to be down below. But this one was stunning. I remember we created such a beautiful look. It comes with more neutral tones, those everyday kind of shades, and this is such a nice palette. So that is the Nude palette. As you can see, these were $2 at Big Lots, and those are the shades. I also ended up picking up the Bold palette, which I also used in a different video, which I'll have it down below if you want to see how that look came out. And this is more of a pinky kind of palette. It's really nice. They didn't have any other palettes when I went to my Big Lots. They only had these two, and I really liked both of them. And as you can see, this one comes with more pinky tones. Also those everyday tones in there. It's a really nice palette. Now getting into their new palettes that just came out. I'm going to show you guys one by one. This is the Nude palette from their new collection. Now it's called Nude. It looks exactly the same as my Nude palette that I just showed you guys. I'm gonna show you guys a comparison, but basically I believe it's the same exact palette, it's just different packaging. That is the comparison. Let me know down below what you think, but to me they honestly look extremely similar. Like it's just repackaged. So I didn't notice that it was the exact same palette. I thought these were new, but basically if you own this palette, do not pick this up because it's literally the same thing as this one. It's just a white packaging versus the orange packaging or the nude packaging. So yeah, just that little like tidbit, because I completely forgot I own these. And now I have two of the same palette, so I might give one away to my sister or something. The palette that we used on the eyes was the Sunset palette, and you guys know this one is so nice. It worked out so well on the eyes. Now all of these have the same kind of formula, and like I mentioned, I did swatch them on my Instagram if you want to see those swatches. But this is a really nice palette, and this is the one that I've been reaching for more often, honestly, because of all those oranges and browns and stuff. And these palettes are still available if you want them. I'll have them linked down below, or I'll have a link to the LA Colors website if you want to check out their site. They have so many great things on there. But yeah, so this one's really nice. Formula wise, it's really, really good. You can't really go wrong with LA Colors eyeshadows. They blend on nicely, they pack nicely. I've never had any kind of trouble with these smaller palettes. So these two palettes are actually extremely similar. They come with those oranges and those browns. So if you own this palette, which is LA Colors Stunning palette, or even like the Classy palette, I think that you're fine. You don't really need these Sunset palettes. So just so you know, if you own this palette, but specifically these Stunning palette, I think you're covered. You don't really need this sunset palette. So next one is the rose palette, and this one comes with more pinky tones and also those everyday tones. And another thing I noticed is that this palette is extremely similar to my bold palette. So I'm going to compare them here so you guys could see and let me know what you think, but to me they look extremely similar as well, and it's only like the packaging that changed. Yeah, to me they look similar. Let me know down below what you think. But basically, again, if you own the bold palette, you do not need the rose palette. They're literally the same thing. Basically, I have a bunch of repeat palettes now, which I didn't notice. I should have checked my collection to see if I had anything similar, which I suggest you do before you decide to purchase these if you want, just so you don't have any repeat items in your collection. The next one here, Cool. This one I'd say I don't have a dupe for. Maybe one of the more like bluish kind of smoky palettes would compare, but this one I say is more of a unique kind of palette to the LA Colors little palettes and stuff. This is really nice, more smoky tones. I really like their packaging because you can see all the colors, you know what you're reaching for, and I just really enjoy this. So this one's a really nice one as well if you're more into those more smoky palettes. Another unique one is their Brights palette. Also, I don't think I own any palettes that look like this, so this one's definitely one that I'm happy to have, and I actually haven't used this, so hopefully the formula is the same. I'm sure it is, but this one does come, as the name suggests, with more bright tones. And those are the shades there. Again, I did swatch them on my Instagram, so if you want to see those, they are on my IGTV, but those are the shades there, and these are really nice. We got a lot of colorful type of matte shades, so I'm really excited to use this soon. And with that, we actually made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed filming this for you today. Everything that I talked about and the names of the prices are going to be down below, as well as any videos that I mentioned throughout this video or videos that I uploaded last week. Don't forget I upload 3 times a week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so if you could stick around, that would be amazing. I'll have my Insta handle displayed on the screen. I post a lot of makeup finds from drugstore high end, so if that interests you, go ahead and follow me there. And it'd be so amazing if you could like and subscribe. Of course, you don't have to. You're your own person, you make your own decisions, but it wouldn't hurt to give this video a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.